everyone, it is Monday, December 6, 2010, and this is your daily dose of reptile news. Now, we do have some new people watching today, so I will explain to them. You know, a lot of other people already know sometimes the news just comes up short, and there's just not a darn thing we can do about it. And that is a day like today. The news is just really not there, but we do have a thing or two to talk about. There's a couple news stories. There's one for today, one that came up over the weekend, and then there's one that just rubs me the wrong way. There's a news story that came out about the python bans and stuff, and my God, the information in there is just ridiculous. But you know, there's good and bad about it, but we're going to get to that. First, we're going to talk about these other two stories real fast. Now, a lot of you, if you kept an eye on the website, you may remember out of Louisiana, the snake that bit the man that was around the reef on the front door that was just stupid. Well, apparently herpetologist has stepped forward and said that particular snake out of there very well possibly could have climbed up that door and got on there and bit it, so apparently the guy really wasn't high. Well, maybe, but it is possible for that to happen, so, you know, what can you say? And apparently in Kansas City, another alligator. This one apparently was a routine traffic stop. When an officer approached the vehicle, he noticed there was an alligator in the back seat of the vehicle. So animal control was called. They questioned the guy. There was no word about any charges or anything. Animal control did haul the alligator off. No word in particular on what's going to happen to it. Now, okay, a story coming out just yesterday about this python ban, and it wasn't really, it's not really news necessarily. I guess it's more of a recap. They went over the amount of species that come into the country every year, and what we talked about a little last week, and we also talked about on Urban Jungles Radio Friday night. I talked about how they were, you know, they're wanting to control the iguanas coming up here next year, and they, you know, worried about disease coming in. Apparently they had some diseased rodents that were shipped to Texas from somewhere in Africa, which is why rodent shipments from Africa are now banned. But anyway, some of the stuff out of this article, I've got the article on the website. It's a pretty long article, so, you know, we can't hit on every single topic, but a lot of it was just crap. I couldn't help but notice most of their expert testimonials or statements within the article. Number one, the first one was for the Humane Society of the United States. Come on, you don't, I mean, most of these were from people that are either funding or lobbying for this stuff to go through, and they said that if they had banned them 20 years ago, they wouldn't have this problem down in the Everglades. They do mention, but everybody else seems to fail to mention, that most of them were killed off last year in the cold snaps. And I just spoke with somebody today from Florida that says it's looking at getting real cold there again, and I spoke to people that say they don't even see them there anymore like they used to, and it's just one of, you know, if you look back through history, I'm a firm believer that Mother Nature kind of has a way of righting the wrongs. Whether it be another ice age or whatever, I just don't think, I don't know, it's kind of a hard one to swallow to believe that there's really a problem anywhere. Are there issues? Yes, there are issues, but a problem, I just don't know. I remember talking last winter, and I remember showing all of you, well, some of you, because all of you weren't watching last winter, but I remember showing you the pictures of the green iguanas that were dead and frozen solid in Florida. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Mother Nature has a way of taking care of her business. Some interesting statistics, though, and I'm not trying to take the government side or the lobbyist side or anything, but they say there were 630 some odd puff adders, for example, that were imported from 2004 to April 2010. And actually some facts is only, you know, these zoos and aquariums, they report what they have, their stock that they currently hold, and only a handful of puff adders are held by zoos and aquariums in America here. And some of those, just amazing statistics that I was reading, which means most of those 630 some odd puff adders are sitting in private households. And you know, I just hope, I know there's a buttload of responsible keepers out there. There's a couple that just aren't, so hopefully most of those are in with the responsible ones. But you know, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, I 100% agree with, I will back any sort of regulation that requires any sort of deadly, you know, venomous animal an animal big enough to kill you or a child or something, I will 100% back a regulation for that. For example, here in California, in order to keep my wild-caught Pacific gopher snakes, I'm required to keep a sport fishing license at all times. I have no problem with that. I have no problem if you got to go down and spend $50 a year or whatever for this little license to keep your python. I don't, no problem with that. I just can't stand the bans. I can't stand the bans. If I had to be licensed to keep my ball pythons or corn snakes or something, no problem, you know. But it's the bans that piss me off. And yeah, I mean, not much to say really about that. I want everybody, if you know, you can, I'd appreciate it if you went and read at least that one story, because you'll see. Okay, you watch this, click on the link in the description, go read to the website, read the story, and then come back and comment on this video, and you'll see what I mean. I mean, that story, I was this close to changing the story around because of all the falsities that were in it, but you know, it is a news story. I want everybody to see how naive the mainstream media is with this, if you don't already know. So anyway, check it out, go read it, come back here, and then comment on what you think about it. And now, obviously, like every other day, weekday, is time for your reptile fun fact. Did you know that the thread snake is the smallest known snake at about 4 inches long and the size of the diameter of a toothpick? Again, I didn't know that. I do now, though, and so do you. And for your question, I have a special question for this Monday, December 6, 2010, and that is, due to the overwhelming response from me announcing that I was thinking about selling some Daily Reptile News t-shirts, I started getting on it. The shirts that you see me wearing either at the shows or on here on the video sometimes when you can see them, are those are expensive shirts. If I were to sell those, I'd have to sell them for $40 each, and that's just ridiculous. They're awesome shirts, but at that price, I don't think so. So a lot of you already know I set out to find a cheaper way, and I found that cheaper way. I went out and did one of them today. Now, it's the first time I did it, so it didn't come out perfect, but I really think it's going to work, and I'll show it to you really quick. It's there is the front of it right there, and then of course the website and the little catchphrase thing there on the back. But anyway, had a little hiccup. I don't care though, because the main reason I went and did this one today is because I'm going to beat the tar out of it over the next week or so, wash it several times a day. I want to make sure it's a quality product that I'm putting out there. I just don't want to put out crap. And so yeah, we're moving forward. It's also, if you want to get a closer look at it, it's in the vlog, which is today's Reptivlog is already up and ready to watch, so go check that out. And I'm sorry, that was last night's Reptivlog. Anyway, go check it out. You get a little bit closer look at them, and let me know what you think. Do you want one? I'm thinking that the way I got them figured out, like $10, I'm thinking I can get rid of them for and not lose money. So let me know. Leave a text comment or a video response. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other.
Feel the teeth